via satellite from Hollywood, AT&T presents Rockline, the weekly radio show that gives you the opportunity to interview the biggest names in rock and roll. How you doing? I'm Steve Downs. Rockline is brought to you by 1-800-CALL-ATT. For long-distance collect calls, know the code. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT. And by Ryder Truck Rental. Call 1-800-GO-RYDER for your local Ryder dealer today. Tonight, Rockline presents Part 2 of Van Halen, and we're very pleased to welcome Sammy Hagar and Michael Anthony to the show this evening. If you've got a question for the boys, call our toll-free number, 1-800-344-ROCK. That's 1-800-344-7625. One number toll-free from anywhere in North America. And tonight, Rockline indeed continues our Van Halen balancing act with Part 2 of back-to-back Rockline appearances by the band. They are in the middle of rehearsing for their 1995 tour in support of the Balance album. The Van Halen tour will begin in Pensacola, Florida in less than 2 weeks, and tonight Rockline is pleased to welcome back, this time, bass guitarist Michael Anthony. Michael?
Hello, hello.
Good to see you again, as always.
Great to be here.
And the newest member of the band, Sammy Hagar.
What's your name again?
Yeah, exactly.
Still the new
Look at
guy,
this, man.
After 10 years.
I don't think so. Just like Bush said, man.
I don't think so. How are rehearsals going? Are you wrapped up, or are you still?
Oh, man.
Steve, let's just say you're going to have to speak up because my ears are still ringing.
Really?
We came here straight from rehearsal tonight.
And we're rehearsing in this big blimp hangar, and it is so bad. I mean, the sound, not us, the band is great, but the sound with no people in there, it hold about 20,000 people, maybe 30,000, and we're a band in there at full volume playing to no people, and it's like so echoey. It's horrible.
Wow.
It's
horrible.
It's like one of these places where I can just play one note, and then I can go home because the bass is still going. The bass is still going 2 hours later.
Now, let me ask you this. As loosely structured as you guys approach a record, because when you go into a record, from what I understand, there is usually not a big set agenda. You kind of work it out in the studio. Is it any difference when you're rehearsing for the tour?
The way the reason Sammy's laughing is because it's not one bit different.
I see.
Not one bit.
This band does everything in the same manner. It's like we go in and say, well, what do you want to do? Well, I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? Hey, Al, what do you want to do?
and it'll take us right up to the first show in Pensacola. We'll be on stage going, hey, well, what was that? What do you want to do again?
It's really funny, It's true. It's so unstructured, and there's no fearless leader. And
that's what's great, because you can't even really say it's a show that we do, because a show is something that's rehearsed and choreographed and everything like that. And even though we do have the lights and the production, which is made to enhance the band, nothing is really planned out. So it's great.
Now, do you guys, or any one of you more than the other, get involved in that non-musical aspect, the lighting and the sound and the stage set and that kind of thing?
Oh, we all get involved in that. Yeah. Alex is the guy, for some reason, that always has something in mind. It's like, and he's one of these kind of guys. He's so democratic. He'll go, well, what do you want to do, Sam? And I go, well, I was thinking maybe, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, yeah, that's cool, and then we talk about it. And then about a month later, I find out that he had something totally in mind already. And it's like,
I was just hoping you were going to come along.
Yeah, just like the album cover, the whole ball of wax. And that's kind of like Al really does get, he really gets involved with production and with lights, and we all okay it. I mean, if one guy in the band goes, look, I don't dig that, or no, I don't think that's cool, then it doesn't happen.
Right.
But usually, Al thinks it out really well, and he doesn't do the stuff. He goes to other people, and we put our ideas, and then we see it, and we go, well, I think maybe it needs this or needs that, and everyone puts their 2 cents in. There's really no ego. There's no, hardcore deal like, okay, this way it's going to be, or I'm walking. It's nothing like that. But seriously, Al usually initiates the whole thing and deals with the people the most, more than any of us.
Yeah, and also real quick, I just got to give some. I just got to give some to the crew and everybody who's with us too, because a lot of the guys have been with us for a long time, and they know Van Halen, and it's like they're really great at what they do. You know, they know all of us, and they just take the ball and they run with it. And it turns out great.
We have some tour dates, more tour dates actually to announce tonight, and also some on sale dates that have heretofore have not been mentioned. So we'll have that coming up a little bit later on. This is the latest release from Balance, Can't Stop Loving You on Rockline. Can't Stop Loving You from Van Halen. We ain't even thinking about stopping. We're just getting started here on a full 90 minutes with Sammy and Michael from Van Halen. And if you'd like to talk to them, get on the phone right now. Call our toll-free AT&T number, 1-800-344-ROCK. That's 1-800-344-7625. Rockline is brought to you by 1-800-CALL-ATT. For long-distance collect calls, know the code. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT. Welcome back to Rockline, and before we get you calls for Sammy and Michael, we want to say hello to everyone listening to us tonight on WGLF, Gulf 104 in Tallahassee, and also we got a lot of radio folks in town for the Grammys and radio conventions, and a lot of them are down here joining us live in the studio tonight. We want to say hi to Neil Mursky from 94.9 Zeta in Miami. Also, the Heavy Man. The Heavy Man is in the house. From KBPI in Denver. Also, Debbie Alcacer from San Antonio's KISS. And my buddy Lex Staley from WFYV in Jacksonville. How you doing, folks? Good to have you here in Rockline. And if you guys are ready, let's get on with it.
Let's do it.
Our first call is from Marietta, Georgia tonight. Rock 102.1. Actually, it's Marietta, California. The two are often confused.
Only by you.
Only by you, Steve. Eric is listening to Rock 102.1 in San Diego. Eric, how you doing?
All right.
You're not anywhere near Georgia, are you?
No.
I knew that right off.
Neither are we.
No, I hope not.
You're talking funny if you're from Georgia, man.
What's your question there, Eric?
How's it going, guys?
Great.
Yeah, I love the new album. I listen to it every day.
All right, man. That's great.
Do you have a favorite song? Seriously?
Yeah, Not Enough.
Whoa, it just happened again to me. Oh, that's unbelievable.
That's my favorite song. It just like hits like a lot of things that are going on in my life, you know?
That's right.
That's going to be a great song live, too, for you.
That's about love, and that's about relationships, and I think it's real important.
Yeah, I love that song.
What's your question there, my friend?
Yeah, I was wondering, what was your inspiration for that song? Not Enough, you know, if you had some person in your life that inspired you guys, or?
Well, for me, being a lyricist here, it's like that song, I was thinking about how love is a thing that most people want to receive from someone, and when you want it, you can't get enough of it. It's like, it's always in a relationship, you're always saying, well, prove to me how much you love me. I mean, even if you don't say it, in your head you're going, you know, I want to be proved. This has to be proved so that I can show my love. You know, it's like everyone's insecure about love, especially if you've ever been hurt in a relationship. And so I was thinking to myself, you know, love isn't something that you receive, it's something you give. And when you give love unconditionally and without expecting anything in return, that's when you truly feel what love is all about. And it's a very difficult thing. You have to drop all defense and say, I don't care if I get hurt so bad that I'll never love again. I'm going to give it a shot this time. And when you do that and you release yourself, it's honestly, I got goosebumps right now. It's a wonderful, wonderful, and that's what that song is about. It's about giving and not receiving. And you receive when you give. And
way to get us started there, Eric. Derek.
Eric.
From Eric. Eric to Derek. And Derek is in Edmonton, Alberta tonight, listening to 100.3 CFBR. Hi, Derek.
Hi, how you doing?
Derek, what's going on?
Good, I'm spaced now.
It's nice talking to you guys. Anyway, my question's for both Michael and Sammy. I'm wondering, when you go on tour this year, are you planning on promoting any new talents? And when you're not on the road or working on any current projects, do you produce any new bands?
Michael.
Well, personally, as far as off the road, there's nobody that I'm currently involved with myself. When we go on tour, all we do is we try to put on the best show possible. And, because it's not like a thing where we're the headliner, and you get the sacrificial lamb to open up, and so that you can say, well, yeah, we blew them off stage every night. We like, Van Halen feels that you're out there spending your money. We're going to put on the best show that we can. And right now, Collective Soul is going to be doing a bunch of the shows with us.
We like that band a lot.
Yeah, they're really good.
It's a matter a lot of times of who's available. I mean, you can go out and say, hey, I want my favorite band on the show, and they're in a studio, or they're already out on tour, or they just played that same market. So it's not as easy as it seems. And also, we don't want to burn our fans, like Mike says, we don't want to burn the band nor our fans to where somebody comes out and they start spitting on our audience, or something. Wait a minute, that's all right. Let's go out there and have to beat the guys up. The opening act have black eyes the next night.
Right.
So Collective Soul we thought was good. We like the band, and we think that our fans will like the band.
Great band, yeah. They're going to be on Rockline. As a matter of fact, they're going to debut their new album here in a couple of weeks,
right.
So we're looking forward to that. Thanks, Derek. Chris is in Goleta, California, at my new place of residence up there, 99.9 K-Tide in Santa Barbara. Hi, Chris.
Get her!
Hey, wait. Give me the phone.
You guys are partying. I can tell you already, all right? It's a dead bust, you guys.
What's going on up there, Chris?
Don't make me have to come down there.
Or up there.
Chris, are you there?
Chris, what's going on?
Chris, what's your question there, my friend? Turn down the radio, buddy.
Chris,
my friend's in the other room. Get in there.
Yeah, put him back in the cage, will you?
Chris, are you there? We're going to have to go, man.
I was wondering...
Hey, we love you too,
Chris,
baby.
the beer and pizza.
They're so mellow
You
in
guys are
Santa
making
Barbara.
Sammy laugh. Shut up.
Just give me the address, will you, Chris, okay?
Hey, Chris,
quickly now. We
Can I
need a
get
question,
there?
or we're going to have to go.
Yeah, I was just wondering what inspired you guys to write The Seventh Seal.
I love these guys.
Personal friends of yours, I
leave these
believe.
guys on all night. I want to talk to each person in this room. Seventh Seal, is, once again, lyrically, is about anything that inspires this band. When I walk in and hear the music, when Eddie starts playing a riff like that, it just puts pictures in my brain, and I usually write lyrics that, to me, explain the music the way I hear it, which is kind of complex and kind of weird, but it's true. And Seventh Seal, there's an old Ingmar Bergman movie that came out in 1957 called The Seventh Seal, and it kind of inspired. I've always loved that movie. It's a tripped-out movie. I mean, subtitles are weird. But anyway, the Seventh Seal is kind of an old thing about Armageddon and so forth.
It's a biblical reference.
And I just kind of threw everything that I've ever thought about the beginning and the end of Earth and mankind in there, and it's really a prayer. It's a prayer to not destroy and not reach the point of Armageddon to where there's no return. And that's really what the song is. In a funny way, it's a little bit of a prayer, and that's where the monks come in and all that. It's a kind of a heavy statement, but at the same time, it's still rock and roll, and I'm not trying to change the Earth, because if I knew how to do it, I'd do it.
And also musically in that song, this is one of the songs where Ed had a riff, and Al came in with the beat. It was one of those things that, like, the song almost came together in one day.
Instantly.
That's right.
Instantly.
Great song. We played that last week. Another great song, and that is on the new album. And the title would make you think it deals with Armageddon, but it's, I guess, in a personal
And you
way.
thought we were a party band.
That's right. This is more new rock here from Van Halen. This one is called Aftershock. Aftershock from Van Halen's Balance album. And we have Sammy Hagar, Michael Anthony with us for the full 90 minutes. And also, of course, America Online. And folks, if you are not yet hooked up to America Online, here are the details on how you can get 10 free hours of AOL on a first-time trial basis. Now, this is for new subscribers only. You can call our exclusive Rockline hotline at 1-800-376-3100. Now, this number will be up and running in about 5 minutes from now, actually. So wait 5 minutes, and you can call this line and get 10 hours of AOL absolutely free. And you also get info on how you can receive the free 10 hours. And once you get online and in our Rockline area, you'll find information about upcoming shows, transcripts, sound bites, pictures, message boards, and all that stuff. The toll-free number once again, and it will be activated at 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 midnight Eastern, 1-800-376-3100. We're going to go online right now. Ty 25 is hooked up on the superhighway, And he wants to know, guys, how would you compare this album to previous releases in regards to style and songwriting?
Sam, you want to start out with that? Or
I'll start out, Mike.
Okay.
But,
and then I'll interrupt you. Go ahead.
you know, nothing has changed in the way that we write songs. It's like we go in the studio with nothing in mind, and it's very insecure, weird situation, but that's the way we make records. We go in and we rehearse, write, and record all at the same time. So nothing changed as far as that goes. We had a new producer, Bruce Fairburn, which is real easy to say, okay, we had a new producer, so that was a little bit different. But I think the main difference from this record is that in the last 4 years, I don't even know how long it's been since For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Somebody can tell me. Okay,
I'll tell you, Sam, 4 years.
Okay, 4 years of life went by. And for some reason, a lot of life went by because a lot of things happened to us in the middle. Our manager died. I went through a divorce, which is a big, big deal after a long time with children and so forth. And there's just a lot seemed to happen, a lot of changes within each individual guy. Eddie got a haircut. I mean, my God.
That's a big deal.
But it's really true. A lot went down, and that is what makes this album different than the other albums. The other albums, up till then, we were so busy, nothing happened. We were on tour, we were in limousines, we were in Learjets, we were, rocking on stage, we were having a blast, we were, paying huge taxes and, and arguing with our accountants, and the lawyer people were suing us, and we were suing other people.
Like so much fun.
It was all going by so fast, that you never stopped. Well, we lived whatever that was in the last 4 years, and that's what this album is about, and I think that's what makes it different.
Yeah, it was like more than now than ever. It was like when we all finally got together in the studio, it was like a real sanctuary. It was like after everything that happened that Sam described, it was like, wow, here are my 3 other best buds, and we're in our favorite place here, and it was like a sanctuary.
Yeah, and you got to do it then.
Yeah.
We got a lot more Van Halen coming up, a lot more of your phone calls too, so stay with us on the Global Satellite Network. When is Love? Van Halen, Sammy Hagar, Michael Anthony with us live for the full 90 tonight. We got a Boilermaker on the line, Frank calling from Purdue University, listening to Q95 in Indianapolis tonight. Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
Frank, what's going on?
Wait, make me one of the Boilermakers, will you?
You know what a Boilermaker is, don't you, Frank?
Yeah, it's a big glass of beer with a shot of whiskey.
All right.
I think they know about that in Purdue. Frank, you got a question there, my friend?
I sure do. I got 2 easy questions for you.
Okay.
Me and 12 of my buddies from Purdue and Michigan State are heading down to Pensacola to see your first show. And I want to know, number 1, if spring break had an influence on your tour dates in Florida. I mean, just perfect timing. And my other question is, can you autograph the CD you're going to send me?
Sam, well, answer the second question. Sammy's signing the CD as we speak.
As we speak, yes. And did spring break influence the opening of the tour in Florida?
Spring break always influences where we play, you know.
Sure.
Of course, you want to play with the sun shining, whatever, but...
Not when the sun doesn't shine. I mean,
no, you never want to play when the sun doesn't shine.
Absolutely, don't mess with that area. That is just...
That's a whole nother.
No, we just thought, Florida's always been a great place to play, and we just thought it'd be a great place to open the tour with.
Tour opens March 11th in Pensacola. I want to announce some dates here, and for those of you in these cities, listen up, because these tickets for these shows will go on sale this Saturday in the various cities we mentioned. For the March 31st show in Las Vegas, for the April 2nd show in San Diego, for the second L.A. show, and this is brand new news for the folks here in L.A. The second
they twisted our arm. They forced it.
They made you do it.
They did.
It will be April 5th at the Forum. Tickets will go on sale this Saturday for that show, as well as the April 9th show in Sacramento, April 16th in Detroit, April 18th in Fort Wayne, on the 21st in Dayton, the 28th in Philly, the 29th in Worcester, Massachusetts, and Providence on the 30th, and May 2nd in Buffalo. Tickets for all of those Van Halen shows will go on sale this Saturday. So check your local Rockline affiliate there, and they'll have more details, and we'll have a few more shows to tell you about.
And this isn't hype. The truth of the matter is the longest it's taken for any one of these shows to sell is 45 minutes. And I just want to say that because I wouldn't want somebody that really wants it bad to do it.
I know that to be true. They went the heartbeat here in L.A.
Yeah, so.
Dave is in Lansing, Michigan, listening to Q106. Dave, you're on with Sammy and Michael.
Yeah, Sam, I had a question for you. I was wondering how much guitar work you do on the new album, and how do you guys go about deciding how much you're going to do? Is that between you and Ed, or is that a band decision, or?
Well, on the records, I never play guitar. The only guitar I've ever played on a Van Halen album, except the live album, has been on Finish What You Started, and on Apolitical Blues from the same album, which was only on a CD or on a cassette or something. And when Eddie writes the music like a guitar part for a song, there's no reason for me to learn that thing. Let me tell you, I'm lazy to start with, and number two, when to come up with a melody and a lyric for a Van Halen song is enough work for me, and there's really no need. Eddie's the greatest guitar player I've ever stood next to in the same room or, on the same stage or anywhere with, and I love playing guitar, and I wish I could play guitar more in this band, but there's just no need for it, and so I just go down the cobble wobble when I get real horny.
The two of you.
You'll have to come down and hear the Tres Gusanos at the Cabo Wobble.
And we do a Tres Gusanos thing with Mikey and myself and my old drummer David Lauser, and that's when I get my guitar off, and I go down there and I blow for 5 nights for a couple hours a night, and that's the best I can do.
Then we put his fingers on ice for about a month.
Yeah, the last time I was dying because I haven't been playing enough. But I love to play guitar, but it's a full-time job just singing and being the lyricist of Van Halen, and I'm happy with it. I don't want to try to play Eddie's parts and sing at the same time. Jimi Hendrix would roll over on this.
Tom is in Dallas tonight. He's listening to Q102. Tom.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Sammy.
Tom, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, Mike, have you ever been approached or interested in doing a bass instructional video?
Yeah, actually, I've been approached a couple of times by, I don't know if I can say it on the air here, but I've been approached by a couple of different people, Starlicks, a couple other people, to do an instructional video. And, it's really weird because when you've learned your instrument, unless you're learning like an actual, from the technical standpoint, it's kind of strange to try to push your technique on anybody else. I mean, I've always, when I first started playing bass, it was more or less just listening to the bass players that I liked and off the album and whatever. So I've really never, plus it's kind of hard to be able to smash a bass on a video and try to tell somebody how to do it.
But there is a technique to it, though. I think there's a wrist action there that you know. Once again, from Balance on Rockline, Van Halen and Take Me Back. Take Me Back. That is, of course, from Balance, a great song. And Sammy, first of all, I guess you guys just decided to add that song to the set, right?
Yeah, we're doing it live.
And you were talking about you've remixed it now? What was that?
Well, yeah, something happened on the mix of that tour after, when you work on an album for 7 months, you love it, but you towards the end you start getting like, yeah, that's okay. It's like, okay, that's good enough, because it's really, you get bored, you get tired of it, you get burnt out, other things start coming in your brain. This song, I think, took a beating in the mix, and Eddie and I both felt the same thing, and Mike and Al, we never discussed it, but all of a sudden we sat down and said, that song kind of bugs me. I don't like the way it's the mix of it, and we all said, yeah, and so we went in 2 days ago, 3 days ago, Friday or Thursday or something like that.
Yeah, end of the week, and remixed it
with Irwin and Bruce Fairburn, and we remixed it, and it sounds a lot better.
So on future pressings,
those of you buy the next, I don't know exactly when the next batch of pressings comes out, but we'll let you know. But it'll be a little better mix. I mean,
it won't be stickered or anything, but that'd be an interesting thing to put online or something.
Yeah.
And to put out on radio that a serial. I mean, there's numbers. Things are numbered, right? And we'll say, hey, after this number, it's any number after this number. It's the new one for if someone really wants it, because it's not going to be that big of a deal. But to us, it's better. We're perfectionists, and
we'll see if we can find that out. Maybe pass that along on a future edition.
Yeah, I think it'd be a nice thing to do.
That's kind of cool. Hey, be sure to send your postcards in for your chance to win one of our 1995 edition Rockline AT&T calendars. It's signed by the guests that appear on the show during the month of February. To be eligible to win, put your name, address, and the station you're listening to right now on a postcard and mail it to 1995 Rockline Calendar, P.O. Box 4383, Hollywood, California, 90078. The 95 Rockline Calendars are brought to you, as always, by AT&T. And I think Sammy's going to remix those calendars here before he leaves.
Yeah, Steve, can you give me that address again? Can you give me that address again, Steve?
Coming back more with Michael Anthony and Sammy Hagar on the Global Satellite Network. An autographed copy of Balance, courtesy of our friends at Warner Brothers Records. So that's for all the folks that get on tonight. Like this guy, Eli from Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's listening to 94 Rock. Eli.
Wait. Eli's coming.
That was Mike. Let me make this official to all those listeners. That was Mike, not Sammy. My God. Michael, you trying to destroy my amateur?
That was Three Dog Night.
For those of you keeping score out there.
I've heard that sung to me so many times.
I bet. What's your question, Eli?
I wanted to say the new album's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next month in Albuquerque, 29th.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. Got a real quick question. I was wondering how involved, if at all, you are with the Inside, the Van Halen magazine. And also to Sammy, I was the guy who threw up the shirt about 3 years ago when he played, that right now Van Halen is kicking ass in Albuquerque.
I probably put it on, right?
Oh, yeah, you were about almost the whole concert. And
I must have liked it. It must have fit good or something.
Yeah, you liked it. You heard the whole thing. And I was wondering, I heard you say that, through the live video and the live CD, and was wondering if I kind of handed that to you or I picked up on it, or what was with that?
Well, I when things are thrown up on stage, I usually try, but it's become a real hard situation for me because if someone, throws a shirt up on stage and I see who did it, I put it on, I wear it for a while, I just try to get it back to them,
Mm-hmm.
And then when another one comes up, I say, hey, I like this one better. Sorry, dude, here's your shirt back. But no, I really try to do that. But now it's gotten to the deal where it's kind of like I'm doing a fashion show, right?
Like on a runway.
And on the runway, too.
Oh, man, it gets too difficult. But, a few years ago, it was a lot easier to do that. And I'm glad you experienced that because, I think it's pretty cool. If someone goes to the trouble, I think I should go through the
Sammy
trouble.
comes home with a better wardrobe than he goes out on tour.
Yeah, I finally get some decent clothes once in a while.
Really quick, also about the Inside magazine. Now, I really have to apologize to the guy who writes. Do you remember his name?
Eli, are you still there?
I think it's Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff. Okay. My brother Dennis is actually a real good friend with Jeff, and I just did an interview with Inside magazine recently, and that is an actual Van Halen fan club official magazine, and I just actually received a copy last week, and all the information in that magazine is true and correct.
So it's
a
Van
Van Halen
But
magazine.
we are not associated with it. It has nothing to do with us. It's someone that does it. And if some weird crap comes out in it, we are not responsible
You disavow
for it.
any knowledge.
If some weird crap about Sammy comes out, you can believe every word of it. Is what I mean.
The God's honest truth.
But look, I don't think there's anything wrong with anyone doing anything like that. There's a lot of different things like that. There's people that have a lot of newsletters and fan club things. But Van Halen has never been involved in any of it. And we don't, put to write for this fan club because
it's all an outsider's point of view, like a fan club or
exactly.
whatever.
And that's a whole other gig. And, let our fans make a living or have some fun with it. It's like that's for them. And I almost feel like the Grateful Dead do about that. They let their fans do anything they want. And we feel the same way. We've never sued anyone. Or we've never said, hey, you owe us money, you sold this, you did that. We don't do that. And, I think it's cool. But at the same time, I do want to say that it's not a business that we run and we're not responsible for.
Yeah, but I do have the latest issue of that magazine.
I don't even know about it. That's what's funny to me. I don't even know about it.
Well, Sam, I'll show it to you tomorrow. No, but I do have that issue, and it's
the real deal.
Yeah, it's a real deal.
Very good. Ryan is in Anniston, Alabama tonight, listening to 96 Rock in Atlanta this evening. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, what's
Hi,
happening?
Mike.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah.
Sam, Ryan.
Looking forward to see you guys in Pensacola.
So are we.
What's your question there, Ryan?
I was wondering how the guys feel about audio or video bootlegs, and if so, do they have any?
Man, we have all of them. Let me tell you, the scary thing about bootlegs is that they're usually really bad quality. And, in other words, if the guy's standing in front of the bass amp, well...
Hey, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the ones that Michael has.
Those are the ones Michael has. But, I don't think, if people do it, they want them. It's for the hardcore fans. for me, I think audio equipment has come so far between CDs and good stereo equipment. And even, I mean, you put little headphones on. To listen to something that bad usually is, like, to me, painful. Yeah. I can't even listen. And it isn't the performance of the band. I mean, it's the quality of the thing.
Yeah, and I think I remember
not worth the money.
I remember Al mentioning last week. Al touched on it a little bit, and you know, it was something that when we decided to put the live thing out, the record right now, is that, you know, there's so much of this out. It's like, hey, this is something that we did.
It's our bootleg.
It's our bootleg. But the quality's a little bit better.
Yeah. Let's get to it. Shannon is must be from Eugene, Oregon, but she's listening to 97.3 KRQR in San Francisco. Shannon?
Yes!
Shannon.
I'm up there. Shannon, I love you.
I love you too.
How's the air up there? Is it clean? Is the weather nice? Oh, look!
Shannon, you don't even want to see what Sammy's doing right now. He's going through these lewd gestures.
I already said it. People say, look, you don't want to move to a place where you can see the air. Well, that's where I am right now. Okay.
Cut it with a knife and eat it.
There you go. Shannon, what's your question?
Well, first of all, I wanted to say hi to all my friends on the internet. Tell them that the Girl Gone Bad got on the air.
You went bad, Shannon?
No, I'm the Girl Gone Bad.
The Girl Gone Bad. Do you remember what question she asked?
What question? Huh?
What question do you got there, Shannon? Go right ahead.
Hey, she's in San Francisco. She got to give them a little more space here,
some
okay?
slack, okay?
Hey, these people are real and natural, you know.
Hey, you know, it's like tie-dye, you know. Like,
hey, Mike, don't be burned. Look at Shannon. I'm on your side. I'm telling you. I'm standing up for you.
Shannon.
What's up,
Yes.
Shannon?
Let's have
Go ahead,
What
Shannon.
up?
I wanted to know, Sammy, do you remember what songs you and Eddie performed when you guys were at Farm Aid in 1985?
Yes, ma'am, I do. We did Led Zeppelin's Rock and Roll, and I think that was it. And then Eddie played a solo by himself. I did about 4 songs, and I went out and said, here's a song for all you tractor pulling MFers, and they shut me off the radio and the TV and everything, and then Eddie got to come out and do a solo, but to nobody, except for the 70,000 people that were there, and then we ran into Led Zeppelin's Rock and Roll, and then I announced live on stage, and because radio and TV went off because I said a bad word, I said the bad word, that is what happened is only 70,000 people knew that I was in Van Halen, and that was the last show. Instead of 70 million people.
Wow. I was watching Sammy and Ed on the national network over the satellite, and as soon as that word went out, I was like, I'm sorry,
I'm an emotional kind of guy. But am I right, Shannon?
I think
right?
so. Must
Wait,
be.
what are you right about?
Was that the right songs that I chose?
Tell him he's right, please.
Led Zeppelin's Rock and
Tell him
Roll.
he's right.
Well, according to about
Boost his ego. Tell him he's right.
According to what?
according to about the 300 people on the Van Halen mailing list on internet, yeah, you're right.
So,
Yes!
it must be true.
Sammy got it right.
It must be
I have a
true.
memory. Imagine that. And I mean, they got the goods.
Why can't this be love? Van Halen, Sammy and Michael with us for the full 90 tonight, or from right here in Los Angeles, actually Bel Air. Jessica's calling in. She's listening to 97.1 KLSX in L.A. tonight. Hi, Jessica.
Bel Air.
I have two
can I
quick
borrow
questions
some
for you guys?
Oh,
Jessica, how you doing?
Good,
Jessica,
how are
first of all,
you?
let me ask you
Great.
something, Jessica. So
Sure.
you live in Bel Air?
Huh?
You live in Bel Air?
Uh-huh.
Well, I hate to sound like Beavis, but
Wait, that's where the Fresh Prince
no.
is.
Yeah,
Is that
wait.
where the Fresh Prince is?
Can I have, like, some money? Okay, I'm sorry.
Jessica, what's your question?
Okay, two quick questions. The first one is, for the video, Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do.
Yeah.
Now, most of the rock videos, you have actors and actresses that, kind of play a role. This video looks really real. Did you guys use actors, or was that like the real-life thing?
Now, I got to cop to something.
Come on,
Mike can
Sam.
say his say. I thought that everyone in that video was real people, and there's one actor in it, and that's a guy who's banging his head on the wall in the end, the kind of like the
main character, the main guy.
the short, dark-haired guy.
Right.
He is an actor. Now, I didn't even know this myself. Everyone else is real people, and they went to real juvenile halls in Los Angeles area, and it is very much real people. But he was an actor, and I didn't know this until recently, and well, there's a long story behind that, but I still think it's cool because it really is real people, and that is the way it really is.
And Jessica, what's your other question?
Okay, my other question is,
What's his phone number? I don't know.
right, okay. My other question is a little bit more personal as far as meaningfulness. I had heard that the original name of your album was going to be The Club.
Yeah, that is personal. So you know all kinds of in stuff, Jessica.
That was to be kind of a dedication to our manager, Ed Leffler, who passed away the other year. And but like with all Van Halen albums, it's like the album's not titled until everything is finished. And it did go through some changes. We after that we felt like when we did the Seventh Seal, we thought, oh, that would be a great title or whatever, but we thought, well, not quite right. And then actually, when the title Balance came up, that was something that came up during.
Like 5 minutes.
Oh, you wait one.
There was 5 minutes.
No, but that was like, you wait 1 2 era, and it's like at that point everyone was going, nah, and this time everyone was going, well, yeah.
Well, it fits. It turns out, it fits.
And actually, then the artwork came along,
right.
and it all came together.
Works.
Yeah,
but you're right. The Club was the first working title, and as far as I'm concerned, in some ways, it is still called that because that's what we wrote the songs to in a funny way. So,
absolutely.
That's a tear-jerking subject, though.
Going coast to coast from L.A. to New York, actually to Rockaway, New Jersey. Tony's listening to 92.3 K-Rock in New York City tonight. Hi, Tony.
Bruce's neighbor?
Tony, what, you on Rockaway Beach?
What's up?
No, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
What's up, Tony?
How come things get released in Japan that don't get released in the United States, and will it ever be released here?
You know what? That's a real good point, and it will be released here. On the next single, whatever that happens to be from this album, the flip side will be the song Crossing Over, which is also about Ed Leffler and the Club, and about my father, and about Eddie and Alex's father. It's about 3 people that have passed away that are very close to us. It's called Crossing Over. It's about trying to make contact, and it's about the feeling that you have. I dream about these people. My father comes to me in my dreams all the time. Ed Leffler comes to me in my dreams all the time. And it's about that. And it's called Crossing Over. And the reason it's on the Japan record is because, oh boy, how can you say this without getting a bunch of letters saying, are you a racist? Japan is a very regimented, business-wise, economical country. And when you release a record over there, they do not want the same record you released in America. And it's politics. And the record company says, hey, you got to give them either an extra track or flip a track or give them a new mix or do this or do that. Well, this was the one song that was finished on this record that was written before I even joined this band. Not lyrically, but Eddie had written that music and played the drums on one side. Alex was playing drums on the other side. Mike put a new bass part on it. This was done in 1983, probably, before the 1984 record.
Wow.
And I heard that song when I first joined this band, and I said, I love this song. I want to write lyrics for it. And it'd be like, because Eddie was playing drums on it. Alex had to play drums. It was a funny political thing, but even within the band, which is kind of touchy to even say this. It's not like a bad vibe or nothing. It just said it always got overlooked. So on this album, I wrote the lyric for that and the melody, and I said, I really just want to put it on there, okay, please, And Eddie loves this song a lot, personally. And we finished it, and it didn't make the album. Alex played drums also, with Eddie playing. I mean, it's a twisted trip. And it was kind of unfinished, and so we left it. It didn't make. I wanted it on the album bad. I actually wanted to kick Deja Vu off the album and put this on there. And then I said, okay, then let's get rid of Beluga-Therium. I'm sorry, I'm going on and on, but this is really very honest. And I wanted to replace it with this song because I love this song. And so then when it came time, I said, good, it'll be the extra track in Japan, and someday it'll be the flip side of a single. And we've just discussed it recently. It'll be the flip side of the next single, and I think it's a great song, but that's why it got released in Japan. It's not like we favored it wasn't anything like a plan that we were trying to do to sell more albums somewhere or whatever. What was left, and we said, okay, that one's finished. Put that one on there.
We got more new music coming up from Balance and more of your phone calls.
Can you play that one? Do you have a copy of it? Do we have a copy?
I don't think we have. I wish we could. Next time, on part 3 of Van Halen.
Come on, Kenny.
On the Global Satellite Network. We are back with Sammy Hagar and Michael Anthony Van Halen, part 2 of our back-to-back Van Halens. Back to the phones now. Willian is in Richmond, Virginia tonight, listening to XL 102.
Hey, that's my girlfriend Kari.
Willian.
Hey, Sammy and Mike.
What the heck's
last
going
summer,
on?
Pearl Jam went to Capitol Hill and protested against Ticketmaster's leveling of these ticket charges that they're going to add to the tickets that we buy for your shows. So I was wondering how you guys felt about Ticketmaster charging $2 to $15 a ticket per ticket for
two's more
extra
like
charges.
it. $15 is ridiculous. No one likes it, but it's a very hard situation to get into because they have a big business, they do a good job, and they have a system, and I'm always for fighting the system and all that, but I honestly think it's overpriced. I think Ticketmaster now charges too much. To go to the extreme of Pearl Jam, in a funny way, the fans are losing because, Pearl Jam, I'm a fan of that band, and I think what they're doing is really great. But they're never touring, and they're not playing as much as they should, and a lot of the fans would like to see that band. They're not getting a chance to see them. When they do, okay, great, it's $17 or $18 because they don't have the $6 or $7 surcharge. All that's wonderful, but at the same time, when's the last time you saw Pearl Jam? Right. So I think they're spending too much time fighting that crap, and they should get out there and play more for their fans. If I were their manager, that's what I would say. If I was in the band, that's what I would be saying. But I like the band, and I like what they're doing, and I think it's a good cause. So I can't bitch about it. But I'm not going to spend my time in court with Ticketmaster.
That could be a long day. Melanie is in Las Vegas tonight, listening to Comp 92.3. Hi, Melanie.
Hey, Sammy, baby. Michael, what's up?
Yes! Hey, no, wait, how come it's Sammy, baby, and Michael?
Michael, baby, you too.
Okay,
Definitely.
that's better.
What's up, guys?
Nothing, we're just waiting to hear from you.
What's up? What's your question?
Want to know? All night. I almost forgot my question, but here it goes. First of all, it seems like in today's world, with all the crap going on and stuff, it seems pretty natural for people to want to be somebody else or change places with somebody else. And I know on your song Feeling, you kind of touched base with that. My question to both of you is, first of all, if you could pick anybody you would rather be, who would it be, and why, basically?
Oh, God. Well, hey, no. Well, first, I'd just like to say that Van Halen as a band, though. See, I'm not going to be like Alex. Alex will take the question and turn it all the way around and take it somewhere else. But Van Halen as a band, we try not to be anybody but who we are, and there's no fads, no trends or whatever, and that's the way we've always made our music and the way we've always believed in ourselves. Now, me personally, if I could be anybody else, just right off the top of my head,
I'm taking mine.
I would, no. Well,
I'm taking mine.
Oh, God. Right off the top of my head, I would want to be Elvis in the early days. Because I think Elvis...
You mean the Slim Elvis?
The Slim Elvis, the Elvis the Pelvis.
Yeah, I hear you.
The Elvis the Pelvis in the early days. Only because that was cool, and I think the way back then that he approached his way of rock and roll and how he looked at it was like real purist,
Absolutely. And, Sammy, real quickly, because we're almost out of time. Who would you...
Come on.
I swear, I want to be myself. I'm glad I'm who I am. I love myself. I'm really happy with who I am and what I am and what I stand for. And
you want to be Barry White. You want to be Barry White. Come on, Sam.
I can make a lot of jokes now, but that's such a heavy question that you asked, and it's really true. It's like I'm happy with, who I am and
with the shoes you're in.
I really am.
Now you're making me look bad.
No, I'm not, Mike. You look just fine. I'd rather be my bird Spooch or something. Who lives the most wonderful life in the world. A sucker gets fed every day, gets put outside, gets put in the in the jacuzzi with me.
That sounds like a good
in the
life.
Jacuzzi with Sammy Hagar. Yeah.
From Balance, this is the closing song, "Feelin'."
All right.
On Rockline. Feelin'. Oh, what a way to close that record too. That's Van Halen, Balance, and as if two Van Halen Rockline shows isn't long enough.
It's not.
It's not enough.
It's not.
So we want to let our affiliates know that we're going to run just a little bit long tonight because we just haven't
wouldn't leave. No, we're the things that wouldn't leave.
It's the band that wouldn't leave.
We had so much to do. Not only do we want to do our own thing, but we had to make up for Ed and Alex messed up. We had to bust the truth out on these people.
Wait, no, Ed Al, that's Sammy talking, not me.
And I got a guitar in my hand now. They're going to have to run me.
That could be dangerous. We'll be back with more. Stick around on the Global Satellite Network. Oh, yeah.
You don't have to go. Oh, baby. You
Sam, we're back on the air, Sam. Sam, we're back on the air. Oh, look at applause from the control booth.
Little blues you can use there.
Jimmy Reed, man.
Sammy and
Jimmy
Michael.
Reed was the smoothest cat on this planet.
Indeed.
Man. I mean, my name should be Ivory Johnson. I mean, Mr. White, because Jimmy Reed was a bad dude.
Yeah, well, the Red Rocker suits you fine. Sammy Hagar and Michael Anthony just jamming here a little bit. We're running a little long. We just still got more business to take care of. First of all, let me do that. I told you we had some more dates to tell you about. And these shows in Oakland and San Jose will go on sale. Tickets for these Van Halen shows will go on sale.
We're home again,
Going
baby.
back home.
That means
Sunday.
I sleep in my own bed.
There you go. Sunday, these tickets will go on sale for the April 7th show in Oakland and the April 8th concert with Van Halen in San Jose. And you can get tickets starting Sunday. Call your Rockline affiliate up there. And some other shows to tell you about quickly. In May on the 2nd in Buffalo, Rochester on the 3rd, Montreal on the 5th, Quebec City on the 6th, and Albany, New York on the 7th. And then it's off to Europe, man. You're playing Paris and Berlin and London.
We're doing big, giant outdoor shows with Bon Jovi and a couple other bands, and it's really, really cool. All those shows, are like sold out, and we're playing for 70, 80, 90,000 people at a shot, and it's really cool.
Outstanding. And they'll be back in the USA mid-July. So you guys are going to be playing for a while.
Oh, yes, we are.
Let's get back to the phones here. Billy is in West Milton, Ohio, listening to 104.7 WTUE.